Live from Williamson Field in Pontiac, Illinois, Pontiac Township High School. It's another Friday night, and that means it's time for Pontiac Indian football on in Central Illinois, part of the Casson Media High School Sports Network, presented by the Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Tonight's sponsors include Bob and Ringo's Grill and Smokehouse, Graymont Co-op, RE Dynamics Real Estate, Driscoll Motors, Lion Sullivan Realty, Marlon Iltz, your country financial agent, Cypress Creek Renewables, Andy Bowman, your DeKalb dealer, Greg Kurtenball, your State Farm Insurance agent here in Pontiac, State Bank of Graymont, Kelly Electric, DPI Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Streeter O&I's Credit Union, Stoller International, Victory Lanes and Slammer Grill on Route 17 in Dwight, GHX by Golden Harvest, Cade Hill, your local dealer, and, of course, the Friends of Indian Football include Milford Hunter at the Potter Agency and JMSA Trucking here in Pontiac. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pontiac Township High School, Williamson Field. It's week 6. The weather has turned. It is truly fall time. Let's hope if the Indian football fortunes will turn as well for the better. Along with Jake Green, I'm Tim Scott. And Jacob, first of all, congrats. The seniors were honored tonight, and you were one of them as the manager there of this football program. And all of a sudden, we are in week 7. I said 6. I correct myself. We got 3 games to go. 2 of the 3 are at home. But, man, tonight they run into an opponent in St. Joe-Ogden that is rock solid, and they're coming off 2 difficult losses, playing them at the wrong time like the Unity Rockets a week ago.
Yeah, Tim, like you said, a senior here with the football program, and kind of surreal tonight that, it's with the second to last game we'll have at Williamson as far as being in school and being a part of the football club like that. But it was really cool to get on there and
I bet it was.
get honored and everything like that, and pretty neat deal. Going back to the game, though, yeah, St. Joe-Ogden, tough loss last week with Central Catholic, essentially the conference championship.
At the moment, that was the conference championship, yep.
So, they're coming off a hard loss there, and they're trying to just come into Pontiac and sweep over and just be happy-go-lucky and go back to St. Joe tonight. I was able to talk with Coach Gadberry, per usual, and we got 3 keys to the game. Slow the game down. That's number 1. They just want it to be a slow pace. Tolono last week got off to a very fast pace. Really got out of hand pretty quick. Don't want that again this week. Turnover battles, we need to be on the plus side of that. We want more turnovers benefiting us versus going the other way. Then limit the big plays. Make them earn everything. That's one of the biggest keys we've seen all week with film, and just kind of instilled to the guys is make the other team earn everything. If they go up and score, X amount of points, make them earn each and every one of those. But Coach Gadberry also had a comment on the seniors as well. He's very proud of the senior group. He said they've done a phenomenal job buying into this new system and culture being set. He said, we kind of have a goal of leaving this place better than what we found in these last few years. And he said that this group's on track to do that, and they're so far in the right direction.
Well, you do see, and again, but we've talked about it, and we'll talk about it again till week 9, and the final game is done. It's a program in a rebuild mode. You do see some signs of things going in the right direction. I do believe they got the right bodies in place, the right coaching staff in place, the right way to develop that culture, develop kids, get programs out, get them bigger and stronger. Unfortunately, it probably not going to reflect in scores, and it might not reflect tonight as well, because St. Joe-Ogden is a club that's 4-2. They've lost to Carterville, a state-ranked team. That was their non-conference game by 4. As Jake just mentioned, they lost at home, Central Catholic, 35-21. They're not a happy bunch, and they want to run out the table and get to 7-2 and get themselves the best spot, because they are a perennial playoff team and a team that can go deep. They have multiple people, multiple skilled positions. They can run it. They can throw it. They got speed. And you talked about one of those keys, Jake, and the fact of slowing it down. Well, I don't know how you can slow it down when they're incapable against the upper echelon of the conference to run the football, and then they become one-dimensional, and that's been the problem. And then they've given up the short field on multiple occasions. And all of a sudden, like last week, they found themselves down 48-0 with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, and that game was done at the end of the first. You knew it was done by then. So we'll see if they can respond, at least being home. But it's a tall task. This team just cannot run the football against quality opponents. And St. Joe-Ogden's a quality opponent, and we'll see if that changes tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. During this week, it's been instilled. It's not working yet, guys, but the run game has to work. We have to be the team that, runs it down the throat, essentially. And that's one of those rebuilding phases that Coach Gadberry wants to really instill in the guys and, look forward to, right, is they want to be that nasty team like they were back in the day where you send a running back up the middle and it's game on.
Well, and it's the eye test, and you can simply tell that in most of these games, the Indians, with the exception of their win over Rantoul, they've been blown out. And the fact being it starts up front, offense and defense, and the line play, we're just not strong enough. And that's where these guys, these coaches will have a first full season, off season, and the kids I think they've been kind of bought into the fact if you're bought in for 12 months, and you got to work it. I think close to half of these kids showed up first time they put the pads on and worked at it was the first day of football practice, and that doesn't work.
Right.
You got to have everybody bought in, and that's part of the process of the culture and rebuilding.
Yeah, you got to work through those camps that come early in the year, and it's a long, long season. And especially if you're a multiple sport athlete, Tim, like Kerr Bowman, for example,
right? He
goes into basketball in just a couple of weeks. We end the buzzer here with Clinton on week number 9, and that probably that next week he's back at basketball training for that. Hopefully,
if you got multiple athletes that are in multiple sports, then of course they're going to do their thing doing that. But for the other group that is just a football player, you got to get into the weight room and you got to do things that make you better, and that's not during the 9 weeks of the season. That's during the other part of the year when you do things behind the scenes. So we'll see how that progresses. But for tonight, St. Joe-Ogden, as I mentioned, the Spartans come to town, and among other players, they got a veteran quarterback in Logan Smith. He's a senior, and you're going to hear the name Tim Blackburn Kelly. He is number 5. He is one of the running backs, I should say. He's got great speed. And also a wideout they love to go to, among others, is Coy Taylor. And he is a junior, and he has explosive speed. So it does not bode well for the Indians, but we will find out. We're still got a minute away. They're talking about it out there, searching for reliable farm equipment for this harvest season. We'll let the Bank of Pontiac Ag Team help you with an ag loan today. If you need cash for equipment, land, livestock, daily operations, kind of the Bank of Pontiac's Ag Team to customize an affordable payment schedule for you. Our Ag Team has been providing financing for generations of local farmers. Call or stop by a Bank of Pontiac location and ask about a ag loan today. Bank of Pontiac, equal housing lender, member FDIC, loans, of course, subject to approval. And our other network sponsor, of course, is Brandt. And for over 70 years, Brandt has been helping growers achieve better results. We bring the very best seed, crop protection, and nutrient solutions to the farm. Through research and innovation, we help Central Illinois growers implement new practices that improve crop yield and quality. Brandt, professional agriculture. Visit brandt.co for more information. All right. We'll see who gets the kickoff. The officials are out there. The captains are out there. They have now just split, as you can see that on the pictures. Speaking of pictures, Jake, I don't know if we can do justice, but the new track that was laid in here late summer and literally right up to the opening of school, they have now put the blue tartan-type surface on. They still got to get lines on it and get the orange in, but that looks pretty sharp. It's coming together.
Yeah, Ben Meyer, you can see there, is giving us the picture. Really, Tim, they worked till very late last night, even buttoning it up, just so we could, use it today. They were out here, like I said, very late, kind of just getting everything really squared away, and so far looks good. But, yeah, the exchange zones will be orange, and right now it's navy blue. I don't know if you can really pick it up.
Yeah, it's kind of tough with the darkness that has come in, but
it looks really sharp.
It does. I noticed coming in, Dan, that was about a twilight there when I got here, and certainly It adds to it, no doubt about it. So the Indians are going to kick off. St. Joe-Ogden will get the football first.
Hey, new face back there at kicking too. It's Kerr Bowman this time here, Tim.
All right. So Bowman does the honors. Line drive fielded at the 12. On the return, that's the speedster. And Taylor beating one defender. At first I thought I saw a flag, but I don't think so. I think that's going to stand, and that ball returned near midfield. And that was Taylor. That's one of those, that's number 25 in that wideout. He will touch the ball early and often. And they're going to mark it near midfield at the 48. So the Spartans, they go on the attack first. The officials set the ball down, and we're set to go. Again, the quarterback is Smith. Lone back. Smith with it, dumps it out into the flat. Indians trying to string him out, and they do a pretty good job in that first down pass and catch. That's Blackburn Kelly. I mentioned number 5 will get a lot of touches, and he got the first one. Pretty good job right there, Jake, of the Indians stringing that out. Never got to turn his shoulder pads north-south.
Yeah, they were able to run him out of bounds and get bodies on him kind of outside, too. Kind of, giving a little extra hit there as good measure, but...
There's Blackburn Kelly in motion. Smith's going to throw it and overthrows his intended receiver, which will set up 3rd and long. Taylor, the intended receiver. And I don't know if you can catch it on your pictures there, but on I'll use the word cold night. Boy, the temperatures dropped. And they plummeted again today. The wind is up. It's out of the west still. I'd say somewhere around 17, 18 miles an hour. It will be in the upper 40s before this one gets done. Thank goodness for the press box and the heater. Thank you very much. The old bones appreciate it. On 3rd down, they're going to run it. Look out. There's a lane. One man to beat with the speedster. And Taylor is knocked out of bounds, but not before. And that was Bowman with the tackle. But not before a first down inside the Indian 30. And there's that little misdirection, and that was a gaping hole there on the left side.
And now you can see St. Joe's wanting to really get back on the ball and plug it down the Indians' throat here as they want to get into the end zone quick.
That's Taylor again on the far side with the reception. He picks up another first down. That might be close to 15. Let's see where the spot is. And they're going to go hurry up. Fogarty on the tackle. But just like that, that is outside of the 10, so they can still pick up a first down. They're going to mark it at the 12, I think. Again, Taylor with the catch, spinning. Did he get in? Sure did. Touchdown, Spartans. And just like that, with 11:08 first quarter, the Spartans and their potent offense put 6 on the board, and they're up 6-0. And they'll go for the conventional one right there. Jake, that I don't know what you do. It's like I said, it's tough when you can't get any pressure on the quarterback. And that time, the quarterback in Logan Smith, he picked them apart and really used the speed. It wasn't deep routes. It was just the out routes and made it work.
Yeah, no doubt, Tim. We saw back here just to pick up that first down a couple of plays ago, kind of a bigger play, a big gain,
right.
And they were going pretty fast right after that. So 2 main goals here for the Indians, not really being obtained yet, as the game's going quick and big plays are happening. So hopefully that can switch here as we get in later to this one.
Well, the kick, as you saw, was up and it's good. And at 11:08, we'll take a quick break and acknowledge some sponsors. And the Spartans on the road trying to break a 2-game losing streak, and they strike first up 7-0. Help your teen or tween take their first step toward financial freedom with an early start checking from SoulQ. They can show their team spirit with a Pontiac Indians debit card handed to them the very same day. But that's not all. They have a whole suite of checking products that are sure to make the crowd go wild. Fresh Start Checking for those getting back on their feet. Senior checkings that come with 2 boxes of free checks per year. And high yield checking. Stop into any SoQ branch today and join the family. All checking subject to credit approval, federally insured by the NCUA. And don't forget the fine folks in food and fun. Where am I talking about? Well, that's Victory Lanes in Dwight and Slammers Grill. They provide complete family entertainment close to home, located in the intersection of Highway 17 and 47 right there in Dwight. Victory Lanes is a great place for a simple family night out of bowling or a great spot for a celebration. Reach out and touch base there with Scotty Banks there at Slammers Grill and Victory Lanes, 584-2724. They're right there on Route 17 as the wind blows the ball off the tee. And the Indians will get the first taste of offense for them, down 7-0. A chilly night. Boy, I even hate to use the phrase wind chill, but I don't know if there's one registered, but it is cold. I guess you're not used to it. How about that?
The computer does say 51 degrees is the game time temperature, but here
now if it was 51 in February, I said it's balmy. But 51 and it's not even October 15th, and the wind howling, it's cold. That's going to be a fair catch, and the Indians will take it near their 25.
Hey, Ben, I don't know if you can see, but let's go down to the south end zone and look at that flag as maybe a good representation of the wind here. See if we can pan down there and get you a good look at it.
So the Indians certainly appreciate the work of the pictures there and all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Ben Meyer, Jacob Green, I'm Tim Scott. Speaking of panning the field, it looks great again, and it's maybe tough to pick up, but you see the number of orange in 51s, and that's in honor of Dick Butkus. I'm sure most of you have heard. If not, he was 80 and passed away. That would have been 2 days ago. And the Bears had a great win on the road for a team that had lost 14 straight. Maybe Dick was looking down and the football gods, but they certainly came away, and the Bears actually picked up a win, broke their 14-game losing streak. And, of course, Butkus was a product of Chicago, went to Illinois University, and was a major, major NFL linebacker, all-time linebacker. Dick Butkus. In the meantime, the Indians, as you can see, trying to run the football and going absolutely nowhere. And that'll set up third and long. It has just been almost impossible for them to move anybody off that line of scrimmage on the upper echelon of this conference.
Yeah, it's been a struggle.
Yeah, it really has been.
Just getting back to the line of scrimmage has been a task in itself beyond, what most teams endure.
And it's like I said, all right, DeLong's going to throw the football now out in the flat, and trying to come up with the reception is King. King was open, and DeLong just kind of overthrew him. And the Indians will be forced to punt. So a quick 3 and out. Now the wind is directly out of the west, so that means it'll blow, as you're looking at the pictures, left to right, a crosswind. I don't know if I have much effect on the kicking game or not, but we'll see. And the punt is off, fielded there by Taylor at the 45. Taylor up the middle and gets right back into Indian territory, and a reoccurring theme where the opponents live in the Indian side of the 50 in the first half. This drive will start near the 40. They'll mark it at the 41.
Yeah, we would love to see some drives where these other teams can start in their own territory, would be a lot easier on the Indians. But like you said, Tim, always seems that they start right off in the Indians' territory.
Empty backfield this time. There's 3 receivers bunched on the right side and split out here in the near side. 5 receiver out. And this is going to be a little misdirection inside. And they'll pick up about 4 or 5. Let's see who that ball carrier. That was Taylor. Coy Taylor. I was told by the coaches, and Jake, you probably know this as well, they'll go with 5 wideouts, and they'll just try to spread that field and then watch for the quarterback and Smith go right up the middle. Well, there's Freebie. There's 5 yards going to be marked off against the Indians. They jump in the neutral zone.
Yeah, it looked like it was here on this near side of the line here, Tim, the right side, and not good.
Nope.
As, half your line stays on the ground, half the line stays up.
Yeah, that's one of those mental mistakes. You should not be making that in week 7, no doubt about it. So this time it's a quick pitch, and it's going to be enough for a first down, but hang on, there is a flag in the area of holding, and it's going to go against St. Joe-Ogden. So the Indians catch a break there. And instead of a 1st and 10, they'll move it back. So the 5 yards the Indians gave up, they're going to get 10 back in their favor. That'll set up 2nd and long. That carry, I think, was by Justin Wirtz, number 10. That'll be a 2nd down call. They'll dump off here to Taylor. He's got running room down the left side, and he'll run out of bounds, but not before picking up a first down. The chains will move this time. If the official's marking it right at the stick, but hang on. Did we get another flag here down in the near side? Sure did, holding against St. Joe-Ogden. That had to be out in that area where the wide receiver got caught. This is reminiscent. We were down at Paxton at PBL. I think they were called for holding maybe 4 or 5 times in a row on a drive. Memory serves correct.
As long as we don't start the same series of events as we did there in the first or in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was one long quarter for the Indians. I think they put about 35 up on us that quarter. So again, a 2nd and 9. This time, this is Taylor again on the opposite side, same play. He didn't get a first down, but he had it inside the 40. They'll mark it down at the 35, set up 3rd and manageable for the Spartan. Again, Central Catholic undefeated in league play. They sit atop of the conference. St. Joe's right behind them with 1 loss at 4-1. They're 4-2 overall. This time, Smith is just going to run it, and he will get a first down. Boy, he just went down before Melvin. Let's hope he's all right, because Hunter Melvin came flying in. Boy, that's when you get your bell rung in that type of tackle, and that was a clean tackle by Melvin. And Logan Smith's a little slow getting up and kind of collecting his thoughts.
Tim, we talk about quarterbacks playing under center a couple of times, and we have seen it out of St. Joe that when you see him go under center, it's a quarterback sneak, and they've been known to do it. As far as regularly under center, we don't see it, but nonetheless.
On the first down carry, there was an option, and I don't think Smith wanted to run that football very well. And he pitched to Wirtz early, still picked up 2 or 3 on the play. And St. Joe-Ogden, they go hurry up. They do not huddle up, and they're snapping again. Smith looks smooth. Oh, that's got to be interference against the Indians, no doubt about it there. Down at the 2-yard line, that'll be a 15-yard walk-off against the Indians. I could not catch who was the defender that hit that wideout. That might have been Martinez.
It was. Yeah, Marcus Martinez had a little bit of a push. We can see it up here. So.
When if these old eyes can see it, that was pretty obvious right there. That was an easy call by the official. And they'll mark it off 15. That'll set up 1st and 10 inside the 15. The Spartans are knocking again. Dump off in the flat. Near the pylon, knocked out of bounds inside the 5 on the reception. That was Blackburn Kelly, Tim Blackburn Kelly. Near the first down. Again, they could pick up a first down before getting a touchdown. They're going to be about a yard short of the sticks. They need 1 for the first down, 3 for the touchdown. In motion. A run to the opposite side and an easy touchdown right there. 3-yard scamper by Wirtz. He gets into the end zone untouched. And just like that, the Spartans put their second score on the board here in the first quarter at the 6:38 mark. Well, it's a bad scene all over again. Short field, a quality football team taking advantage of it. They marched 48 yards this time. Wirtz the 3-yard run. And pending an extra point, the Spartans are going to be up by 14.
Yeah, and it's only 6:28 left to go in the first quarter, too, Tim.
Yep.
So
Kick is up. It looks between the pipes. It is. All right, so with 6:38 to go, still in the first quarter, St. Joe-Ogden, a commanding 2-touchdown lead. They're up 14-0. We'll come back with more after this timeout. You finally have a dream home. Now you need the right insurance to protect it, because when it comes time to file a claim, you don't want any surprises. Talk to a Country Financial rep like Marlon Iles to find out if you have the right protection. He can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Call Marlon today, 842-1376. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or the Country Preferred Insurance Company from Bloomington, Illinois. And remember, fall is always an exciting time of year, and we certainly are in the fall season now with high school football, band competitions, and homecomings. See Driscoll's in Pontiac for a dependable vehicle to get you to all these activities and more. Find plenty of autumn deals at your Did It, Done It, Still Dealin' dealer, Driscoll's, off Newport Road in Pontiac. So, well, I'll give the student body credit. They're bundled up, but they're here. Not as big as what we've seen the first 2 weeks, and the crowd's certainly not as big. Again, a combination of a program on the rebound and cold weather. There's a pooch punt. That ball's bouncing on the turf, picked up. That's a live football, and the Indians will have it at their own 40. Obviously, they've heard of they don't want to kick it deep and get it in the hands of Kerr Bowman, so they'll opt to keep it short and give the Indians great field position, Jake. 1st and 10 for the Indians. Let's see if they go uptown and look for number 4. See if they get Bowman. Bowman has not had a touch yet, has he, in the first 2 possessions? Of course, they've gone 3 and out on both of them, so he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity.
yeah, it might be time to try something new and maybe go through the air on this one, or maybe send Bowman in motion and catch him in the backfield.
Well, King split out to the right here. Bowman's in the slot, as you can see here, number 1 and 4 respectively. A.J. DeLong take the snap. They're going to run the football, try to get it up the middle, and Riley Johnson will get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
Yeah, St. Joe was calling for the ball being out there, but the head referee was calling it down. As he was very explicit on that. No, guys, that was down, but that could have been bad. Ball security, Tim. You can't have a running back that can't hold on to the ball. So
Normally, running backs who fumble the football usually find, if they can't get that problem corrected, usually find, unfortunately, a seat on the bench. They'll go up the middle once again. This time get a little bit of running room. It's the best they've had so far. That's Riley Johnson again. And that'll gain of 4, we'll say, 3rd and 6. 5:41 clock running here in the first quarter. That Spartan Central Catholic game a week ago, that was a 14-14 tie at halftime. And then the Saints kind of exploded there in the second half on them. That's going to be offside call against St. Joe-Ogden, I believe. Sure is. That was number 53 who jumped early, Quincy Jones. And Jones finds himself a seat on the bench. Sean Skinner, who's the head coach. Are they making Jones run?
Yeah, they are.
I don't know if we can pick that up, but I've never seen that before. All the years I've called ball games, hung out with Mark Meyer and called ball games for over 25 years. I don't know if I've ever seen a down lineman who jumped in the neutral zone. I seen him get pulled, but I never seen him have to run, in essence, a lap. Yeah, it wasn't a full lap.
Yeah,
but
I look up, Tim, and I'm like, wait a minute. He's not supposed to be running that way.
Wow. Times are, well, when you lose two in a row down at St. Joe-Ogden, they know that's desperate for them. All right. In the meantime, that was Riley Johnson on 3rd and short. Picked up a first down. So the Indians, in which I believe they only had 2 first downs in the first half a week ago, pick up their first down at 4:51 here in the first quarter. They're in at the St. Joe-Ogden 45. They're going to keep it on the ground, this time going absolutely nowhere, and you could see where a host of white jerseys. Johnson fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage, that one.
Also, Tim, going back to last week, Riley Johnson was kind of nourishing a bum knee, if you would. That's why he got pulled out of last week. Kind of worked with it a little bit here through the week with practice and everything, but glad to see him back and nothing that's going to keep him out. Hunter Wilson still out for the year, like we've mentioned.
Right.
Cesar Gutierrez still troubles with a finger. He's still out as of now. Cam Gillette, however, returning to the game. As we go here, Amari Curtis on the run, gain of a couple, Tim.
So Curtis. Now that should be 3rd down, shouldn't it? Now the marker over there says 2nd. Did I miss something? Because didn't Riley Johnson run up the middle and then Curtis Johnson run up the middle? Or Amari Curtis. There they go. Now they change it. So we were correct up here for once. For once.
Also, terrible luck. Brock Clement gets pulled up to varsity this week. Same day he gets pulled up, has a soft tissue issue in his elbow, and he's out for a couple weeks.
There's the dump out. Hunter Melvin tried to pick up a first down and does pick up a first down. I think there's a flag down near the 37, though. My guess is that might be holding against the Indians out in the open space. Let's see. I hope I'm wrong. Well-devised play right there. And Hunter Melvin's a runner's got to get, yep, there's a holding penalty. These officials apparently like to throw or a flag for the holds out in the flat area after a dump-off pass. So what was the second first down of the drive? Will end up being 3rd and 11. Well, unfortunately, when you're 1-5, things that go wrong, penalties come into play. It just seems to be, you're a quality team. You don't have as many penalties. When times are tough, they seem to come. Trying to hit King deep and knocked down. Pretty good coverage right there. No flag on the play. Ball might have got caught up in the wind a little bit, underthrown a little bit. King tried to come back. And 4th, and let's see, the Indians might go for it.
Yeah, if we could see the pass go a little farther to King to just be able to reach over his shoulder instead of coming back to it, I think he has a good chance of catching it, Tim.
Well, Zach Gadberry says, nope, we're not going to go for it. We want to try to pin these guys deep and make them work a long field. And probably not too bad of an idea. Why do you want to give a good, high-powered offense any advantage? Because the Indians, trying to pick up 4th and 11, probably going to be a difficult task. So that's the right call, and Coach Gadberry, that's what he wants to do, and that's what the Indians will do. 2:57 first quarter. Low snap, punt is off. A wobbler in the wind. And that ball hits a St. Joe Spartan in the derriere, and the Indians recover. How about that?
That's the second time this year, Tim, that's happened here at Williamson at that.
I don't know if you could see that at home, but I caught that, and I wanted to say it was one of the blockers, and number 3, Garrett Denhart, never even saw. He saw the football was going to be short, so he went to block an Indian, and the ball, he was too close to the ball, ricocheted and hit him right in the lower back. And Johnny on the spot was the Indian and fell on it, and we're in business. Now let's see if we can capitalize.
That's the biggest thing right now, Tim. You have to find the end zone here.
Johnson up the middle, and Johnson going nowhere. You talked about Johnson and getting dinged up a little bit. The Indians took a beating last week. They received some hard hits. Very impressed with Tolono Unity and their ability to pop somebody. And again, they were a little bit angry too because they were coming off a loss at Central Catholic. Boy, we're running into teams that are coming off losses to Central Catholic. Who set the schedule up?
Yeah, Central Catholic's been putting a beating down on the Illini Pride Conference here thus far, Tim.
No doubt. They are the cream of the crop. They have their only test left, really. They got IVC at home tonight. IVC is winless, and I assume they'll remain that down there. This is going to be Amari Curtis, and trying to turn the corner, cannot. He will get a couple, maybe even 3. 4 down territory for the Indians. This will bring up a 3rd down call.
Oh.
Yeah, a flag was on the field, but now they're going to pick it up and wave it off. So 3rd and 7. Underneath 2 minutes. Must have stepped out of bounds to stop the clock. We're at 1:54. It'll move on the snap. There is that snap. They're going to run it again. And going absolutely nowhere. Got stuffed in the backfield. That's Curtis once again. A little bit surprising there in 3rd and 7 when you're down there. They've tried to hit King a couple times. Bowman's not been targeted yet. And I realize sometimes coaches get in the mode, well, you know, we're 1-5, and we're going to work on certain things in game. And one of that might be we're going to establish this running attack one way or the other.
Yeah, maybe just a case of we're going to do it until you guys get it right.
Yeah, well, it's right now it's a loss of 2. It's 4th down and 9 at the 19. They got to get to the 10. There's Bowman deep in the corner, and it's picked off. Double team thrown into double coverage. The ball was underthrown and picked off by the Spartan in Musselman. And just like that, the Spartans hold off the Indians, and that's a frustrating way to end it, that particular drive. Now, the officials are talking. I think they're just talking right now. Okay, I don't see a flag. Well, that's a touchback, sure. The official just made the touchback call with his hand, but I mean, he was in the end zone and did not run it out, so that's an automatic touchback. So with 1:04 to go, the ball's marked at the 20. And now the Indian defense has got to hang on. They have been unable to stop the Spartan offense on the first 2 possessions. And now we got another flag. Week 7, and we got flags all over the place. I don't know what this one's about. I didn't see any movement at all. Well, somehow the Spartan is offside. I don't know how he could be offside. If that's got to be a legal procedure, I would think, versus on an offense play, but we'll have to see. I don't know who that was called on. We don't get that information. Here's the bunched. And it's a run play up the middle. Look out. Wirtz is loose and is tripped up. He looked like he might go, and finally was tripped up and gets the 5 back on the penalty. Picks up about another 5, a gain of 10. 2nd and 5, 46 seconds to go, and the Spartans want to get it going. There's the no huddle.
Yeah, if you break that tackle just a little more,
Yeah, he is gone. He could have gone right up the seam. This is Smith down the middle, open and dropped. Oh my goodness, that was Coy Taylor and could have been gone.
Another one of those just right there, Tim.
Oh.
Man, that was a great pass and almost catch opportunity right there.
He was open in between two Indian defenders on the far side, and the Indians dodge a 6-point bullet. That'll stop the clock with 30 seconds to go, first quarter. 3rd and 5. Now the Spartans have got to convert. They've had one third down play, and they did convert. That set up their first touchdown. And I think the Indians might have just gave them a first down. I think they jumped in the neutral zone, the left defensive end for the Indian.
That was Santi Pena. Got a little too quick and not good. That's one of those things. You have to make them earn it. If you're giving them free yards here, Tim, that's no good. And they pick up another first down.
So forget the thought about converting on a third down. The Indians did it for them. Well, this is where they try to hit the home run ball on you. Smith in the flat. And this is Taylor. He's got speed. Taylor's on his feet. Flag is down. Taylor is finally brought down. Let's see if this one comes back. Once again, where that flag is, you would think it'd be holding against St. Joe-Ogden. Boy, all these holding penalties, you begin to wonder. And it looks like everyone's coming back. 20 seconds to go. All of a sudden, this quarter's been long.
Yeah, Coach Sean Skinner may be having a lot of guys running before they can get back on the bus tonight here, Tim.
Well, sometimes all of a sudden you get all these holding penalties, and you in week 7 on a very good football team, you wonder if this crew is just holding happy, to be honest with you.
Well, you know, and a team like St. Joe that's
well, now they're waving it off. Wow. Well, the Indians don't catch a break, and we've had 2 penalties that have been waved off. So, boy, St. Joe-Ogden's ready to go, and the officials aren't ready to go. So that offense, they want to get in as many snaps as they can, and that hurry up. And they get a play, and they go. They don't wait from the sideline. This is all ran by Smith, the quarterback. Or in most plays, I should say. So the ball's marked at the 30. This is Wirtz up the middle, kicks to the outside, still on his feet, weaving down near the 10-yard, a gain of 19, maybe 20. And with 12 seconds to go, once they set the ball, the clock will run. I don't know if they'll get another play. Will Coach Skinner want to run another play? He might just say enough is enough. Let's take it to the quarter break. And I think that's what he's going to do. All right, at the end of 1, the Spartans on the move. They're a knocking again, up by 14 over our Indians. And, of course, you're watching and listening to Pontiac Indian football on Iron Central Illinois, part of the Casson Media High School Sports Network, presented by Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Back with the second quarter. Stoller International has been serving the Central Illinois farm community since 1935 and continues to do so today with 5 locations. They are dealerships that service built, providing Case IH, Kubota, JCB, Kins, Bobcat, Woods, MacDon, and many other name brand equipment to customers. Along with new equipment, they also offer a wide range of used, high-quality equipment. All 5 of their locations offer a full-service parts and sales department. Stop in at your local Stoller International store today to see how they can help you. along with Ben Meyer providing the pictures and help. Jacob Green, I'm Tim Scott. Started the second quarter. And once again, the Spartans, 2 for 2. 2 touchdowns and 2 drives, trying to make it 3 for 3. First and 10. Ball is just outside of the 10. Beg your pardon, I don't think so. It's marked at the 10, first and goal. Smith out of the shotgun. Smith still with the ball. Dump out. Caught. This is going to go for 6. An easy catch and an easy run for number 5 in Tim Blackburn Kelly. So everybody's getting in the scoring column. And look out, the Spartans are making it look easy. They'll go for the 1 again. That was the first play of the second quarter, and they're knocking on the door, being up 21-zip. Now, this was a drive that went 80 yards. So they did work at the length of the field. And remember, this came off the turnover where the Spartans intercepted DeLong in the end zone. The snap is clean, the kick is up, and the kick is no good. Those Spartans will have to settle for 6. And again, we'll take a break. You are listening to Indian Football, the Iowa Central Illinois, part of the Casson Media High School Sports Network, presented by Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Back after this timeout. State Farm agent Greg Kurtenball, proud to be part of the Pontiac community. Stop in and see him in his new location right across from the Pontiac Post Office there in downtown Pontiac. Remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And GHX is the new straight-up seed buying experience. You get a max script recommendation for the right hybrid at the right population for maximum yield at one flat per acre price with all the hassle of the programs and deadlines that get in the way of a straight-up transparent experience. Contact GHX Specialist Kate Hill, 217-417-3283 for a straight-up and transparent seed buying experience in 2024. Just the start of the second quarter, we're one play in, and St. Joe-Ogden, just outside, of course, that school's outside to the east of Champaign on I-74, made the trip into Livingston County. They're enjoying a 20-0 lead here. Just to start, as I mentioned, of the second quarter, Jake.
Yeah, Tim, as they kick it away. Hey, good kicker for St. Joseph Ogden. That guy is, he has a leg on him, no doubt.
Well, that ball bounces in the end zone, and he just showed it off to us. So Indians will start in their own 20.
Tim, I do have an update from down at Central Catholic right now, 7-0. Central Catholic up over Chillicothe at the start of the second quarter. Was the last update there. Again, Prairie Central in action tomorrow at Heron for their out-of-conference at 2 p.m. tomorrow down at Heron.
And you just reminded me of that. I was thinking that was tonight, and that's a 4-hour drive for Kent Casson and Jeff Curl and company down there, but that's a Saturday afternoon ball game. That is correct. So Hawks not playing till tomorrow. Try to get you Illini Prairie updates here as well as the evening progresses. Indians try to go up the middle, and unfortunately just not any running room. There is a gain of 1, and there's no flag on the play. So that's been about a 50-50 shot for a penalty or no penalty here in the last few plays, but that one's clean. Clock running on a 2nd and 9 from their own 21. I guess the best matchup maybe record-wise in the conference is Paxton, Buckley Loda, and Monticello. They connect, a couple of 3-2 teams in the conference tonight.
Yeah, I think that's the game tonight to watch, Tim, that's in the conference, no doubt. That'll be a good contest down there at PBL tonight as well.
Yep. We mentioned IVC, as you just heard, on the road at Central Catholic. Who else am I forgetting? Rantoul and Tolono Unity.
Right.
Tolono Unity, a huge favorite in that game. So third down play, just underneath 11 minutes, clock running, second quarter. DeLong dumps it to Hunter Melvin, but this time he can't get his shoulder pads turned north-south, and he's brought down short of a first down. If you recall, he had one earlier. That was a great call, catch, first down, but a holding penalty wiped that out. I think the Indians, unfortunately, you just can't. You got to punt. Just can't give the ball, even though it's. Some folks might ask, well, you got to lose. 4th and 3 or 1 and 5 or down 20. But you just don't give good football teams an automatic touchdown when you park it right there at the 23 or the 27. So
well, yeah, like we mentioned, we want them to earn everything.
Yep.
So giving them something like that, not on the agenda tonight.
And the punt is clean. Boy, they don't have anybody back this time. Good roll. A ball kick out of bounds inside the St. Joe-Ogden 45. Or their own 45. They'll mark it at the 43. Seems like I'm missing somebody in the conference. Maybe we hit them all. I think we do have them all. It's the Hawk game that's not going tonight. Well, the Indian program won't be concerned with playoff implications, but there are 5 teams whose overall record is 4-2. I'll stand corrected, with 2 losses in the conference.
Stellar conference for football.
Yep, no doubt about it. We're talking, obviously, Central Catholic will be in. There's the snap. That's Wirtz. He gets around the corner, and then I thought he was drugged down, but stays on his feet. And he'll pick up about 7. Excellent run by Wirtz of St. Joe-Ogden. 2nd and 3.
Yeah, we'll see teams like Tolono Unity, Central Catholic. I'm not sure, like you said, Monticello's
Tolono Unity, PBL, and Monticello both battling. They're 3-2 in the conference. I think they're 4-2 overall, both those 2 teams. And that's a great defensive play. That might be the freshman.
It is. It's Ben Melchers.
Yeah, Ben Melchers.
Tim, and
shot through and dropped.
We haven't said his name in a while.
Oh, we haven't.
It's been a minute since Melchers has made some noise.
That's a nice play by Ben, the freshman. Shot through there and dropped him. 3rd and long, 3rd and 11. Smith looking right down the middle, and it's caught. Why not? You go to your bread and butter, your star receiver, and Coy Taylor, and number 25 comes up with another big catch. What a pinpoint pass and catch right in the seam of that defense. Though the Spartans on the move again, 8:39, second quarter. Blackburn, Kelly out there. They're going to go right back to Taylor. Taylor trying to break one tackle. He gets inside the 10, maybe down to the 7, maybe the 6. It'll set up 1st and goal. Martinez and Bowman on the stop, but not before. Another St. Joe-Ogden first down. Here's the hurry up. Boy, they get off in about 10, 15 seconds. They'll get another snap off. This time might be the option play, trying to string it out. Wirtz, forget about it. But also, this one's going to come back. 2 flags on the play. I know one of them's holding against St. Joe-Ogden.
Yeah, and I don't think they're related at all, Tim.
So let's see if they are both against the Spartans, see if they're offsetting. Yep, they're going to go a walk-off, a 10-yard walk-off for St. Joe-Ogden. Another holding penalty. So for the moment, it's still 20-0. If you're a Spartan fan, the good news is you're still operating first and goal, and you got 4 shots at it. This time, though, it's at the 18. Motion man. Now they get set. Here's Taylor's in the slot, number 25. They're looking for him, and I thought that was pretty good coverage by Martinez, but they're going to call him for pass interference. The intended receiver was Tanner Sims, number 22. Boy, didn't you think? I thought Martinez got there at the same time. Boys, you got to let these guys play. Come on.
Yeah, almost too many flags.
Well, you got that right.
Almost anything they can get a flag in the air on, it's been tonight. So.
Well, that'll move it back towards the goal line. And that'll set up a first and goal at the 8. And, of course, when you're playing or you're for a fan, you're watching, you're broadcasting it, things aren't going well for the year. The last thing you want to know is you want to see a slow game. You know, it's bad enough getting beat up a little bit. But, man.
Yeah, that's no doubt.
And you get a little frustrated. If you hear frustration in my voice, you understand. Well, enough of the frustration. Coach Zach Gadberry is going to burn a timeout. No, that's going to be St. Joe-Ogden.
Yep.
Coach Skinner might be a little frustrated with all the penalties. I'm sure he is. With 7:20 to go, there is a timeout on the field. A favorite 4-letter word for Terry Sullivan of Lyons Sullivan Realty is sold. Your real estate professionals serve all of Livingston and surrounding counties. Visit Lyons Sullivan Realty at 321 West Madison Street in Pontiac. Call the office at 842-1400 or just log on and track them down via LyonsSullivanRealty.com. All right. Off that timeout, we're set to go. This is Wirtz up the middle. Wirtz, touchdown. 8-yard gallop up the middle. Didn't get brought down to the goal line, and by that time it was too late. And just too much power, finesse, and speed by this Spartan offense. And once again, the Indians are outclassed.
Yeah, it's a good ball club, no doubt, Tim. They're able to do what they need to do and do it well and do it fast. And, 26 zip as it's 7:13 left to go in the second quarter, starting to be reminiscent of last week at Tolono.
Well, the St. Joe-Ogden and Tolono Unity almost mirror programs. Solid football programs, perennial playoff teams, and, man, do they have some nice weapons. This time the kick is up. It looks good and is good. So, midway through the second, St. Joe extends it, enjoying a 27-0 lead over the Indians. And, of course, this is all on the Eye on Central Illinois, part of the Casa Media High School Sports Network, presented by Brandt Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Will be back after this break. All right, off of that 4th touchdown of the evening, Wirtz has a couple of them. That's his 2nd touchdown run. St. Joe-Ogden will kick it off from their own 40. Let's see if they, that's time they kicked deep, and they kicked it into the end zone. Let's see what the strategy is. They're going to go deep again. This time, this is going to be an Indian at the, that's Riley Johnson. Caught it at the 8, brought it out to the 20 before he's ran back into the ground. So the Indians, 1st and 10, they've had one first down. One first down so far in this one. And they have another on the penalty. So they've had a couple of first downs. Beg your pardon. Let's see if they get something going on this drive. Yeah, I actually think before that touchdown we were talking about it, we'll get to that in a moment, between Tolona Unity and St. Joe-Ogden when we've seen them back to back. DeLong will take it, dumps it out, trying to get in the hands of Kerr Bowman. Finally gets a catch, trying to turn the corner. And the speedster uses those feet and will pick up some positive yards. I actually think St. Joe-Ogden a little bit better. They just seem to have a little bit more. It's kind of tough to gauge against us, but if you use a Central Catholic score as a barometer, that was at Central Catholic. Tolona Unity got handed to them. They lost 42-14. And then Central Catholic went to St. Joe-Ogden and beat them 35-21. Game that was a little tighter than the final score indicated. We all know what Central Catholic did to us in week 1. 7 minutes to go, and before we can get this playoff, another penalty. This time St. Joe-Ogden's offside. Wow, how many holding penalties and offside penalties are we going to get tonight in week 7? Apparently, a few more.
Well, it's a good chance to get the Indians back.
Hey, I got one question for you. What in the name of Greg Norman were you and my grandson, whoever else was out golfing in a rainstorm, wind, and the coldest day of the fall so far today?
Yeah,
Oh, to be young is all I got to say.
Yeah, we started, and by hole 6 it was raining and windy, and
yeah,
the rain was that type of rain that when it hit you, it hurt a little bit. You thought maybe it was hail. Yeah, it was not good. And had to get back to town after that one. It was time to go inside and warm up.
I bet so. As long as you guys had fun. Obviously, for folks that don't know it, the high school was off today and enjoying a day off today from school, and Columbus Day on it's Columbus Day, right? Yeah, Columbus Day on Monday.
Yeah,
you got a 4-day weekend.
Was a school improvement day, if you will, is what they call it. So
okay.
I don't care what they call it or what they do. I just know we get the day off.
Well, there you go. I don't know who's improving who, but enjoy your 4-day weekend.
That's right.
Johnson up the middle, and I think he got enough for the first down. Sure did. Still moving the pile. Riley Johnson, the best run of the Indian night so far. And on 3rd and short, give the kids credit. That offensive line that has been beaten up that time provided the oomph. And they just pushed back that front 4 of the defense of St. Joe-Ogden.
That's been one of the best runs we've seen all year, I think, almost, too, Tim.
Almost like a rugby, just a pile trying to move it north. So a first down on that particular play. It was 6:35 to go. Indians trying to get into St. Joe-Ogden territory. DeLong has to unload it. Does so. And that's another first down. That almost looked like Martinez. Was that 14 or? No, that's Hunter Melvin. 34, beg your pardon.
Back-to-back Indian first downs. Wow.
Nicely done, guys. A little dink and dunk, and the ball into the right or left flat. And it's been about the best weapon so far for the Indians. They've tried to go deep once and got picked off. This looks like Riley Johnson, the lone's back. I think he got the ball. He did. And this time, he'll pick up about 3, maybe even 4. On this particular drive, you don't see too many white shirts in the backfield. Offensive line's doing its job, at least so far.
I hope the announcer's jinx doesn't come back and get you there, Tim. But
Well, they'll give them a gain of 3. 2nd and 7. One of these things that we haven't mentioned, but you got to remember. In motion is Melvin. Riley Johnson, not this time, lost those 3 yards. Will be 3rd and 10. Both Kelowna Unity and St. Joe-Ogden schools that got enough for the football numbers, they don't have too many two-way players. Obviously, the Indians and their program numbers are down. And as far as skilled people, most of these kids are two-way players. So that takes a toll. That's a huge difference. And that's all part of a program and getting it back. And we got a delay of game? No, that wouldn't be a delay of game, but we do have an illegal procedure on one of the Indians up front. So 3rd and 11 is going to become 3rd and 16. And I see one of the Indians' assistants, hands up in the air like, how we weren't even set in a 3-point position. I don't know how that could be a legal procedure, but that's the call.
A lot of flags tonight, Tim.
Wow. As the Indians, as you can see, they're getting the play in from the sideline. 10 seconds on the clock before they got to snap it. 4:58 to go in your game clock. DeLong, ball sailed on him, threw it into a lot of area with white shirts. Bowman, your intended receiver, and that will force the Indians to punt. So a couple of first downs, but then that penalty really hurt. They had a 2nd and 7, and then a 2nd and 7, and then the run of Johnson lost 3, then the 5-yard walk-off, and tough for this team to overcome that. Once again, Martinez will punt it. This time it's going to be caught, and no fair catch. And brought down immediately, right at the 30. That was Taylor, Coy Taylor. He does about everything for this team. Catches passes, punt return. Probably gets a bucket of water or two every so often. 4:45 to go, 2nd quarter. And they have plenty of time to drive the length of the field. They've shown that with this hurry-up offense. This drive starts at the 30. Smith, open in the middle and dropped. A quick crossing route. Might have heard footsteps from Kerr Bowman coming in from his safety position. And Smith thought he was going to get popped a little bit, or Taylor, beg your pardon. And I think he kind of turned and looked before he cradled that football. So that's going to set up 2nd and 10. St. Joe-Ogden in his first half has had 2 big 3rd down conversions that have fueled drives to touchdowns. This is 2nd and 10. Down the middle again and caught. Might go on the catch. And 5 touchdown. There it is, a 70-yard completion to Sims. And the big play capability, Tanner Symes, beg your pardon, not Sims, Symes. And they just convert again. Boy, that's quarterback and Smith.
Yeah,
He's got an arm, doesn't he?
Big play.
Fun to watch. Not fun to call if you're an orange and blue, but it's certainly fun to watch. You understand why he's been a starter down there for a couple of years. 33 points in the first half. They pitched a shutout so far as St. Joe-Ogden, trying to make 34. The snap, forthcoming. That's a fake or kind of a botched in the end zone. And on the botched snap, they convert it into 2. How about that? Everything going right for the Spartan. So 4:28 to go before halftime. It's 35-0. It's all St. Joe-Ogden. And Indian football, as always, brought to you on the Iowa Central Illinois, part of the Casson Media High School Sports Network, presented by Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. We'll be back after this. Longtime sponsor for Pontiac Indian football and Pontiac sports is Kelly Electric. Kelly Electric always supports the communities and all activities such as the high school, among others. They work hard to get the job done right the first time at Kelly Electric. Wiring Central Illinois for more than 40 years, it's Kelly Electric. Well, thank goodness the heater works. That might be the highlight of the night here at Williamson Field.
We have the hot chocolate right next to us, pizza behind us.
Is that coffee or hot chocolate?
I don't know. We may have to test it out at halftime.
Huh. And, of course, if you're on the short end of a 35-zip score, you're sitting outside in the elements. It always gets a little colder, a little quicker. All right, here's the kickoff once again. This one's going to be short. This one's going to hit the ground. Kicking it around, need to pick it up. We do. King does, and brought down immediately.
Not sure that was the best option to pick that up and try and return it. I think maybe that's one of the ones you just kind of fall on and take with you.
Normally, yeah, that's a good call because normally bad things happen versus good things in situations like that. You just fall on it. So right now, the Pontiac Indians, their number one problem is trying to get a sustained drive. Their second problem is you don't want to give the ball back to the offense because it's shown the ability to move it and move it quickly. And there's still plenty of time in this second quarter because the next score, if you don't score, is a running clock again. There's the snap. Riley Johnson got back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. He had a couple of moments of moving the football well, Riley has. By that time, you really can't fault him. There's just no running a room.
Yeah, like you said, Tim, at the beginning of this one, it starts with the offensive line and ends with the defensive line, right? You know, you have to win the war in the trenches to win football games. You really do.
It's pretty simple.
Right, and so far the Indians this year just haven't really quite figured it out on how to get those big guys up front to be able to really move and make holes and do it right. So
I'm going to reset the football a little bit. Give Riley a gain of 1. Now the marker says third. Did I miss it down? I thought it was second down. That was just the first play. I know sometimes I get absent-minded in my old age, but did I miss a play? We'll double check. I might have. You never know. King's got to come out. He might have some equipment problems. Popping into the lineup for the Indians is Owen Stroh. Well, the marker says third. This is Amari Curtis, and he goes absolutely nowhere. He'll be fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's tough for me to see the scoreboard for the down marker.
It looks like it is going to read 4 right now, so everything's matching up at this point.
Yeah, this is third down. Yeah, they finally corrected it over there on the far side. They're really trying to mess me up, are they? All right, 3:15. I was correct for the second time tonight. Got to keep. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, there's some sugar cookies back here. I think we ought to get you one.
There you go. That'll get you juiced up a little bit. 3:04, clock moving, third and forever for the Indians. Now we have a whistle again. Another stoppage of play. Delay of game this time out of the Indians.
There's a lot of
now the Indians are asking why was the clock not reset? They never reset the clock that you got until it was snapped, ran down to 0. Sometimes they would reset those when you move the football. Boy, a lot of the flow of this one has certainly not been kind. I'll just put it that way. 3 minutes to go. DeLong flushed out, trying to connect with King, and it falls incomplete. Well short of the first down. He wasn't going to pick it up anyway. And the one thing you didn't want to have happen happens. Another 3 and out. And the Spartans are going to get great field position. And that man, Coy Taylor, back near midfield.
Not good when you have to punt from your own territory, deep so many times a night.
Of all the punts that we have had, well, again, that's just part of a program that is struggling. Most of these have been deep in your own end, and that is not. Boy, that was nearly blocked. I don't know if he got a piece of it, but it didn't go very far. And it might have, that thing's going to be marked down at the Indian 23. That might have been a net gain of 3 yards on that punt.
Yeah, it flew a little to the north here, then it came back pretty heavily there. But, yeah,
there was pressure on Martinez, and to avoid the block, he might have had to kick it off the side of his foot or inadvertently or advertently. But bottom line is, great field position for the Spartans. Boy, for once, is Smith going to go under center? Sure is. Huh. Well, this was be to Taylor. Taylor did not get around the corner. Of course, there's another flag on the play. My guess, holding. It sure is. Against St. Joe-Ogden. Should have had a pool for how many holding penalties there'd be in this one.
We really should have brought the
what's the over-under on tonight? I would say it's way over. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, that has got to be close to double digits in holding penalties called in the first half. Should have kept track of it. It's got to be at least 7 or 8. Well, not under center this time. Smith looking, plenty of time. Going for the home run ball, and in and out of the hands, incomplete. Pretty good coverage, might have got it in the line of sight. And Coy Taylor had it in his possession, deep in the end zone, but dropped it, and that'll set up 2nd and 20. Boy, he got behind the 2 defenders. That's at speed again.
Good pressure, though, back as we see in the backfield. He was pressured in the pocket, but still had a lot of time to get it off. And, good homage to that St. Joseph offensive line for allowing
that pocket held up. He had a lot of time to throw it. That was pretty good. Logan Smith, 5'10", 165-pound senior. Boy, if you're a Spartan fan, you've loved to watch him. This time, splitting the defenders, didn't catch it, miss it this time, broke a tackle, foot race, touchdown, Coy Taylor. 33-yard scoring strike, and with 2:22 to go, second quarter, it's all Spartan up 41. Pending the extra point. One thing I learned by one of the officials that was up here, and I hate to admit that I even brought it up, but unfortunately, it's about the running clock, and you don't like to think the worst-case scenario, but unfortunately, you're playing a tough football team, and you're probably going to be in the short end of the score, and we'll get to that in a moment. Spartans going for the 1. The kick is up, looks good, and is good. We'll keep it right here, so it's 42-0. The running clock, I always started in the second half. It can run in the first half. You do have to have permission by both coaches to run it. So obviously St. Joe-Ogden would say it, and it's usually the losing team. So it'll be interesting if Coach Zach Gadberry wants to run it in the first half as well with 2:22 to go. And we'll find out that answer once the kickoff starts, because with the running clock, only thing that stops it are timeouts or touchdowns or scores. So I learned that because this official had a game 2-3 weeks ago where it became 70-0, and they ran it midway through the second quarter. Became a running clock up at Moments is where it was. So there's something I didn't want to know because I'm sure it was going to be against the Indian, but had to ask the question.
Tim, I got one comment to make, though. We thought the coffee, hot chocolate mix over there in the boiler, I think that's just water. They have one of our scoreboard workers back here working
packets?
With some, they just got packets. So.
Yeah, all right. So you make your own. Okay, that's cool.
Hey, at least we still have it. Great facilities up here at the high school.
No kidding. I agree with you there. The press box is gorgeous. This time that's going to be Kerr Bowman. Kerr Bowman trying to get something going. And he's brought to his knees around the 30. No, they said King. Okay, beg your pardon. I thought that was 4. It became number 1.
Yeah, I thought it was 2, Tim.
In any event, this drive will start at their own 31. Speaking of King, he'll split out to the far side. Bowman will be in the slot. Number 1 and number 4 there. Trying to get something going here. And the options are limited. DeLong's going to keep it. DeLong on a keeper. DeLong will pick up a couple of yards before being spun back. And the next snap will take place under 2 minutes to go. Now, one thing with that running clock, obviously if the Indians score, and at halftime that would be underneath the 40-point rule, so we would not have a running clock. The Indians would love to score in this drive. Up the middle, Riley Johnson picks up a first down and a couple more.
Another one of those good runs, Tim.
So the clock is not running. Stopped on the first down. It'll start up again. 1:36 to go before your halftime intermission. Now it starts up. Ooh, bobbled snap. DeLong got to pick it up and run, is brought down. For a loss of about 3, maybe even 4. As the pictures show, just a tough time getting any offense. Not to be a broken record, but it bears repeating, and you can just see what work needs to be done. And this is work that's going to have to be done in the offseason, is to get this offense and defensive line play much, much better. This time DeLong running, trying to connect. I think that was Hunter Melvin, the intended receiver. Stretched out, couldn't come up with it. And with 42 seconds to go, the clock stops on the incomplete pass. And the Indians will have one more shot to try to pick this up on this 3rd and long. They need to get to the 46.5 yard line of the Spartans for a first down. Back in the pocket. Scrambling, having to dump it. Ball was tipped. Incomplete. No flags in the play. And the Indians will be forced to punt. Jake, I know you were one of those seniors honored. I was trying to, in terms of numbers, there wasn't a huge amount as you can kind of, I thought, maybe 12, 13 total seniors?
I think it's 11.
11, is that what 11, it is?
But in that ballpark, there may be, a few additions with managers and whatnot. But, I believe.
Senior players somewhere around 10, 11?
Right, yeah. Right in that ballpark.
So most of the kids coming back. And the Spartans going to let this one go. There's no need to do anything about it other than let the ball touch. They'll take a knee, I'm sure, and we'll go to break. As they set for the final play, do you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling emergency? Give DPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling a call, and they'll be on their way. DPI is a licensed, local, family-owned, and operated business serving the plumbing and HVAC needs of Pontiac, Fairbury, Streeter, and the surrounding county area. Their highly trained and certified technicians have the expertise necessary to help you, and they will take a knee, as you can see. DPI is available 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Call them 419-2040 or visit them, DPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, 900 North Ladd Street in Pontiac. DPI Plumbing and Heating and Cooling. Thank you much. And there, as you can see, it's halftime. We'll take a break. The Marching Indians will provide entertainment here at halftime on a cool/cold Week 7 night in Pontiac, and it's all St. Joe-Ogden. The Spartans up 42-0, pitching a shutout here at halftime. And as always, you're listening to Indian football in the Iron Central Illinois, part of the Casa Media High School Sports Network, presented by Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Back after this break. We are at halftime, as you can see on the pictures there, the Marching Indians performing at halftime here for the fans that are huddled in their jackets and hats and gloves and such on a cool fall evening here as the St. Joe-Ogden Spartans have come to town and they have taken a commanding 42-0 lead here at halftime. As the score indicated, this is a team that is a playoff team, could do some major damage on a run in a playoff, and they're coming off two tough losses in a row to Carterville and to Central Catholic, and they came in here hungry, and they have handed it to the Indians, no doubt about it, here in the first half, as their skilled people, Smith and Young, Wirtz, among others, have really come a calling and converted on every drive. They have touched the football. They have scored a touchdown here in the first half, up 42-0. RE Dynamics is a full-service real estate office out of Pontiac with over 35 years combined experience. David Wayman, Ryan Rich, Donna Sartoris provide the best service in every area of the client's needs. Buying or selling a home, commercial and investment properties, or simply providing a free market analysis on your home. Not only do they serve local communities, they support and live in those communities as well. Give David, Ryan, and Donna a call, 815-844-HOME today. Also remember, strong roots have strong yields, and if you want performance that counts, it starts with a legacy of superior results found with Bowman Seed, your local dealer, a legacy DeKalb and Asgrow dealer. Contact Andy Bowman with Bowman Seed today, 815-822-4777 for all your seed needs. All right, halftime once again. We'll take another break. We still are about 10 minutes away before the kick of the second half. The clock will run. It'll be a short half, unfortunately, for the Indians, as, again, they are down 42-0 to St. Joe-Ogden. And, of course, you're listening to Indian Football in the Eye in Central Illinois, part of the Casamigos High School Sports Network, presented by Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Back after this break. All right, we're back here and about ready to start the second half. Again, the Spartans of St. Joe-Ogden up comfortably 42-0 here at halftime. And a game that will have the dreaded running clock once again against the Indians here in this 2023 campaign. And before we get there, Graymont Co-op's been serving agriculture since 1903 with grain, agronomy, feed, insurance, and now internet. If you would like to join the Graymont Co-op team, visit GraymontCoop.com, fill out an application. Graymont Co-op looking forward to another great year of Pawnee athletics throughout the campaign. And also, folks, enjoy house-ground steak burgers, smokehouse salad, appetizers, select smoke features, and home-style horseshoe. Where's that at? Bob and Ringo's Grill and Smokehouse in downtown Pontiac. They're open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 2 and 4 to 8. Friday, 11 to 2 and 4 to 9. Saturday, 11 to 9. Sunday, 11 to 8. Take advantage of great weekly specials. They include the smoked rib quesadilla, brisket, the burnt ends and ribs. Also try their homemade sauces like barbecue, the buffalo, the Cajun ranch, all great. And, of course, you can call for takeout or reservations with a group. That's 815-844-6565. Bob and Ringo's Grill and Smokehouse, outstanding food there in downtown Pontiac. All right, the Spartans will kick off once again with Ben Meyer providing the pictures. Jake Green will join us here momentarily. I'm Tim Scott. The second half, a running clock, 12 minutes in each quarter. And we'll see how the Spartans, if they call their horses off or they'll send out their first unit. Sometimes coaches will send out their first unit for one possession. They'll get a chance to work on some things, Jake, and then they'll make sure they get the second units in there and no one's running up a score. They're trying a flea flicker. This is Bowman. He's got some running room near midfield, still on his feet, and brought down right at the 50. Kerr Bowman and the Indians. That's their best offensive play right there. It came on special teams.
Yeah, that was a good look. I know they practiced that a couple times in practice this week. One of those plays that we're going to try it this week, guys, see what it does. And so far paid off there pretty well, Tim.
So, let's see if the Indians could get something going here. A.J. DeLong, number 7, is your quarterback, operating out of the shotgun. On a first down, right at midfield. They'll try to run the ball. Riley Johnson going nowhere. Might have lost a half a step. We'll call it 2nd and 10. The Indians will be on the road. 2 weeks to go in the regular season. They'll fall to 1-6. We will be in Chillicothe. We'll have to cross the Illinois River and get to Chillicothe. IVC is the opponent. They are winless, and they are losing at Central Catholic tonight. Johnson's tripped up. I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage there. Kind of a surprising score. The Saints only up 14-0 at halftime. Tri-Valley, I know, was all over Lexington Ridgeview. I want to say 47-6 if I remember that score right. That's no surprise. Tri-Valley is always dominant in that conference and in playoffs. Now this time, this is Hunter Melvin, and he got enough for a first down and more. So Hunter Melvin, they've made that play work a couple of times. That dump off in the right flat, and then let's do Melvin. And time they caught the Spartan defense out of position, and they moved it down to the Spartan 34. This is their deepest penetration of the night on this drive to start the second half. DeLong Riley Johnson twisting and turning for a couple. And we'll give him credit for 2, Jake. Be nice to see if the Indians get in the end zone here.
Yeah, it would be nice to at least get on the board, Tim. I mean,
Sure.
Obviously this one's it's out of reach, really. And the Indians won't be able to come back from this one. But, at least to be able to take many steps and go forward and improve, getting a few more first downs, tackling better on defense, and running your offensive plays better, and X, Y, and Z, and so forth. Just being able to work and progress ever so slightly is valuable for those younger guys. Like you said, just a few seniors, really.
Right.
So the younger group really has to jump in next year and go forward. So, a good number, as you see on the field right now, are those younger guys, like quarterback A.J. DeLong. He's
just a sophomore. Yeah,
right.
Just a sophomore. So it's been valuable learning experience for him. This is Riley Johnson, but this one's probably going to come back. The old holding penalty, we saw enough of that in the first half, has come back to revisit us in the third quarter. And there's the call by the official, as you can see. And what was maybe close to another first down will set up 2nd and long. State Bank of Graymont understands the farming community and has been helping area farmers prosper since 1913. All the loan officers have been involved in ag lending for many years, along with farm background. Stop by and visit with Scott Bachnet, Blair Barton, Paul Russo, Denny Stevens, Ashley Ralph, and Brandon Tate. As the Indians will go now with 2nd and long, out in the flat. Bowman with the catch. Bowman trying to turn the corner. He does. It's a foot race, and he's finally pulled down from behind, but not enough before a first down. Nicely done there. DeLong to Bowman, the best combo they've had all year long. The State Bank of Graymont offers operating lines of credits and loans for machinery, buildings, and equipment, farm service agency loan programs, and farm real estate. Enjoy the bank's free regular checking account, unlimited check writing, no monthly service charge, free internet banking, and account access 24. 1st and 10 snap, Riley Johnson up the middle. Riley Johnson battling inside the 5 and almost in and is in. The Indians are on the board.
And Tim, we've talked about community so much and just the way the student body is still here. The Pontiac Indians are down 42-0, or at least they were before that score. And now, Tim, they get in the end zone, and the crowd goes crazy, the team goes crazy, and it's just one of those moments that it really doesn't mean much to affect the outcome of this one, if you look at it that way. But it's still really cool to see just the involvement with everybody and how it kind of affects everyone.
So you are exactly right. 6:26 to go. The clock does stop because of the touchdown. And the Indians will go for a 2-point conversion. DeLong in the corner. And pretty good defensive coverage there by the Spartan. Bowman, the intended receiver, could not convert. And remember, State Bank of Graymont, they're located in Graymont, Chanel, Pontiac, Sonneman. Visit their website, sbofgray.com, member FDIC. Thank all the sponsors, as always, for making this possible for us to bring you not only Indian football, but boy, all of a sudden the calendar, the weather has changed, and it reminds you fall sports head into the winter sports, and boys basketball right around the corner.
Can't wait.
And I know there's anticipation with especially the boys program. 3 solid people back in Coach Kelly's world. And that would be Riley Weber and Henry Brummel, thank you much.
Hey,
brain fade right there. And, of course, Kerr Bowman. And if anybody's asking, okay, wait a minute, where's our other starting guard from a year ago? Unfortunately, he's recovering from some health issues. Hopefully might be back the second part. And, of course, who am I referring there to? Jacob Green.
That's Michael Kuska.
Yep.
So Michael had 2 hip procedures, without getting into a lot of detail.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, procedures done to where he's going to have to recover. Really looking forward more to his collegiate career with baseball, and it was just time he had to do it. So, doing that, maybe we see him January, February as a thought, depending on where he's at and depending on,
Right.
other factors. But, yeah, so.
Yeah, and not
Frisco's
going
out.
and not prying to one situation, but he's got to ride the Valpo baseball. Baseball obviously is around the corner for him, and that's going to be a tough loss. But the flip side is that gives an opportunity for somebody to step into that role. So there's a couple spots available, and be curious to see what Coach Kelly and his staff have come up with, and who's going to make the big step up. And there's a lot of good basketball on the horizon for this year. Meanwhile, the Spartans on that return, and looks like they got their second unit in. I know they had it in against defensively, and we'll get some new names for you here. But second unit, third unit, I'm telling you, they're all good down there.
Yeah, you start getting to those schools like Bloomington Central Catholic, St. Joe, Tolono, and Monticello to a degree, where they really have the football culture still.
There's no doubt.
Football schools, and they have those first and second and third strings, like you mentioned, that are, your first string's really good and down the line, but by the time you even get to your third string, it's still a pretty solid football club.
Well, as you can see, that run was nullified because of another penalty. And that'll set up first and 15. They're going to dump it out into the flat. Their quarterback is McKinney. McKinney is his name. But they still run the hurry up, and they run their thing. So they're just because they're up 42-0, they're not going to take their time. They're still going to run their thing, but they're running it with their second unit. McKinney is your quarterback. McKinney with it now will hand it off. And that time, that might have been Hunter Melvin that came in and stuffed it for the stop. Musselman on the carry. And that was Hunter Melvin, number 34, with the hit. 2:46, third quarter, as the clock runs. And the Indians just gave them a first down, unfortunately. One of the down linemen for the Indians step into that neutral zone, another penalty. So hopefully back with the basketball, I hope Michael Kustra there. Got to know him a little bit more. He worked with the Parks and Rec over the summer. A very nice young man. And hope everything is going the way it's supposed to for him. I hope everything works out the way it needs to for him. Totally understand. There's a pass and catch, and boy, we saw a lot of that in the first half. Continues here in the second. St. Joe-Ogden moves the sticks, and they're into Indian territory on that pass and catch. Bowman and Crawford on the hit and stop there, but not before another first down. This time it's number 34 on the carry for them, and that is Wirtz, a different Wirtz. Justice Wirtz was working in the first half. This is Wyatt Wirtz. So we got IVC next week on the road. Then we come home for week 9 and the season ender. It's a home ender against a non-conference opponent in Clinton. McKinney will keep it. McKinney will not get very much on that particular play. 1 minute to go, third quarter. I would say maybe a couple plays, but the way they run this hurry-up offense, they love to get the ball snapped. And as we mentioned in the first half, it's 10, 15 seconds is all they need to regroup, get to the line, make a play call, and they're moving it. There it is. Again, the pass in the middle. Boy, that's been open all night long, that slant route. I don't care who they put in there. The Indians not covered that well at all defensively.
No doubt.
Bowman again on the tackle, but not before another first down. Boy, I bet they've almost got to be over 400 yards of total offense, I would think, in this game already. That's a chunk. And I think at this point, with 11 with 10, they're not going to get. They'll be comfortable in letting it run out. We're at the end of the third quarter. And again, the Indians down 42-6 here in Illini Prairie football action. And, of course, you're listening to it and watching it on the I in Central Illinois, part of the Casamigos High School Sports Network, presented by Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Back with the fourth quarter after this. All right, we're set to go here. The last quarter is underway. St. Joe-Ogden throw it deep in the end zone. Caught on the plays. Good touchdown. McKinney, and we'll get a number for you. That was number 7 on the reception, Lockhart. So the maroon and white machine continues to march up and down the field at Williamson, and this time a pass and catch of 17 yards come into play, and another 6 on the board for St. Joe-Ogden.
Good throw, like we mentioned. Second-string quarterback in there, and he had a good ball. Great to the end zone, and even in coverage was able to get that.
So they got to get their kicking game in. Or let's see what they're going to do. They got 10 seconds to get a snap off, so they better hurry. I guess, there's the holder. They're down to 3, down to 2, 1. Well, the clock went off. Now the official. Boy, finally they blow the whistle and a delay of game, of course. Now, I'll be honest, I thought, but no one's saying anything, and maybe Coach Zach Gadberry's enough is enough, but the clock continues to run. I thought it stopped on running clocks when touchdowns were scored.
I think typically it's
I'm pretty sure it does. So why that's running, I don't know, but it is. So finally, the snap is up. A line drive, and it's off the mark, and they'll have to be happy with 6. They are happy. They're up 48-6 as the Spartans will keep it right here. With the basketball team, the week of Thanksgiving is when the boys' basketball season kicks in. They are up in Ottawa in that traditional tournament up there. I do know they are home a little bit more for folks that are always clamoring for, man, they just aren't home that much. And, of course, when you're on the road with these tournaments, you don't have as many home games. But they have Morton at home in a new ball game, and a new opponent, I should say. And they got El Paso Gridley at home. I do know they're still in December. They're back of the road up at Spring Valley Hall in that traditional tournament for a week's run. And that's always a solid tournament. They did well in that last year, second place, if I remember right. And then they are in Prairie Central before Christmas, and they're in Streeter. So 2 teams, but close in proximity to Pontiac, so you can travel and catch them as well. So I think potentially got anywhere from 11 or even 12 ball games if they play all of those 4 sites, or 4 days, I should say, in those 2 tournaments. So they got 12 on the books, I do believe.
Yeah, they start off at the Dean Riley tournament in Ottawa on November 20th, so coming up, relatively quick. And, then they play through that till the 25th. And the 28th of November, Morton, December 1st, El Paso here. Then, like you said, up at Spring Valley for a week's time. Then Prairie Central and Streeter actually back-to-back days.
Right. I saw that.
So that'll be interesting. Then you go into holiday tournament play, and then it's conference right after that on January 5th. And so the
and not to slight anybody, the girls basketball team, they will start the week prior to Thanksgiving. And I was just talking with John, the AD here at Pontiac, and it's a little different setup this year because Pontiac and Prairie Central hosting host sites.
I was going to say, there's a turkey tournament,
Yeah,
I believe.
turkey tournament, and there's a round-robin format over here that first week that will give. There's Riley Johnson up the middle, and that'll be enough for a first down. Riley getting some work here in the second half and getting some production. 7:49 to go before the end of this one. It's all St. Joe-Ogden. And so there's a round robin of 4 teams in here, 4 over in Fairbury. And then that Saturday is the championship game. Whoever wins the pool play here, pool play over at Prairie Central, will play in Prairie Central. So that's how the girls' season will kick off right here. You can catch some games right here at home in Pontiac for the first 3 ball games. So that's kind of neat.
And I believe, too, the PTHS TV YouTube channel, I believe tentatively will stream Pontiac girls basketball. We'll have boys basketball in Ion Central, Illinois. Not sure what the wrestling standpoint looks like as far as now. But girls basketball, I believe, at least through the regular season here for the Pontiac Township High School will be on our YouTube channel, I believe. And then, like I said, boys will be YouTube and here.
So there's a lot of activities happening right around the corner there as we head indoors. In the meantime, Pontiac, I don't know if that's enough for a first down or not. That's going to be tight. And they say, yep, move the sticks. So with 6:34 to go, the Indians pick up back-to-back first downs. And again, on the short end of a 48-6 score. And because they were down by 40 at halftime, this is a running clock second half.
Also, too, Tim, 21-0, the last reported score at the start of the 4th. That's at Chillicothe and Catholic down there in Bloomington. So far, it's a close game, at least on the last reported.
Well, Central, I'll say I have no idea what's happening down there, but just in terms of the score, it wouldn't surprise me. All of a sudden, Central Catholic comes out a little flat. You're playing a team that's winless, and you have had to get your emotions up and play Tolono Unity and St. Joe-Ogden back-to-back weeks. And it was basically the conference championship that might be in line. Prairie Central wants to have something to say about it because they play at Central Catholic the last week of the regular season. But I could see them being a little flat coming out and not as productive maybe, or maybe mentally focused as they should be. We will see. But in the meantime, they're still taking care of business. They're up 21-0 down there in Bloomington. Or in Bloomington.
63-6 was the final at Tolono, Rantoul Falls to the Rockets.
Well, there DeLong connects with his man of the night. That's Hunter Melvin. And that'll be enough for another first down. Let's see if the Indians can get in the end zone before the end of this one. 4:48 clock running. So 63-6, huh?
That was the reported score on ihsa.org. It's an area where you can upload scores if you would.
63-6. Wasn't that our score against Central Catholic? First game of the year?
Pretty close, yeah.
There's Bowman. I don't know why I want to remember that. But I
do. You remember that one.
Unfortunately, that was kind of implanted in the brain. Bowman, in the meantime, let's think about pleasant thoughts. And Bowman with the catch. And just short of a first down down there. The ball is inside the 15, nipping the 10. And right now, is less than a yard there for a first down. 350. Out of the shotgun. This time they're going to give it right up the middle. and into the end zone. And that, I believe, is Colin Cox. Is that right? Number 8?
I think you're right.
Yep, Colin Cox, I am. So Cox will pick up the touchdown, the second of the evening for the Indians. And again, the Indians have moved the ball in this second unit of the defensive people of St. Joe-Ogden. So give them credit. The kids out there, they're trying. And they'll go for 2 again. Let's see if they can convert this time. The snap, DeLong has it. DeLong into the end zone, and he gets the 2 on the quarterback keeper.
That's one thing about Alvin DeLong. He's not afraid to be physical, and sometimes I think that gets him in trouble more than not. He likes to be a little too physical, but nice to have out of the quarterback.
Well, one thing, and again, he is a young kid and learning, and I know on a couple occasions he runs straight up, and he's got to learn to get down a little because he has taken some hits, and especially against the better teams, and can deliver some punishment. But right there, he did a nice job of reading it and rolling into the end zone for 2. And they will have to hurry. The clock continues to run. And there's 2 minutes left in this one. And it's very possible if the Indians do kick off, and they'll probably have to kick off, that St. Joe-Ogden will take a knee, and that will be that. So I guess in looking back at this one, there's no surprise the outcome of this one. We knew this was a quality football team coming in. Tough matchup for the Indian program at this point in time. And the outcome is no shock to anybody. But again, somehow these kids, especially the younger ones, because the seniors only got a couple games left in them. And the good thing for next week is you got an opponent that is winless. Indians have 1 win. It ought to be a competitive game, and it'll be a great opportunity for the Indian program to work on some things, maybe get a win, feel good about yourself, and again, springboard the last 2 games of the year, try to get something going positive for the following year.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. I think that's I was talking with some other people tonight as if we can maybe win those last couple of games or at least have a good run here to bump us up. 2 wins is in a year is more than we've had in quite a while. So that's a good stepping point if that could happen next week. But like you said, it's going to be a competitive game, something we haven't really seen in a long time. Right. It's going to be more than likely 4 quarters of good football, hopefully.
Yep.
And so it'll be a good time.
I'll be curious to see how next week's game go, how the kids respond on the road. Well, they're not going to take a knee. They're going to run for it and will be gone. 1 play, a touchdown, run, right there as you could see, and that's the way this one's going to end. The run by number 34. A little surprised they didn't take a name, Wyatt Wirtz. And the clock will run out because of the running clock situation. They won't need to kick or go for the extra point. And your final is 54-14. That's a little bit weird, but that's the way this one will end. Your final, again, 54-14. We will be in Chillicothe a week from Friday night. And your final thoughts on this one, Jake?
Really, there was some good. There was more bad than good, but I think it's glad that we got the last couple of weeks over with, Tim, and it's all forward to next week. And
I agree. The program and matching up the last 2 weeks has been a nightmare, no doubt about it. And
it's been hard.
Yep, been hard. And hopefully everyone's come out of it at least as healthy as possible. And you go from there. That's all you can do. For Ben Meyer, for Jacob Green, I'm Tim Scott. I'm glad you've joined in, and I hope you enjoyed the broadcast and the pictures, if not the outcome. Once again, the Indian football brought to you by Bob and Ringo's Grill and Smokehouse, Graymont Co-op, RE Dynamics, Real Estate, Driscoll Motors, Lyons Sullivan Realty, Marlin Iles, your country financial agent, Cypress Creek Renewables, Andy Bowman, your DeKalb dealer, Greg Kurtenball, your State Farm Insurance agent in Pontiac, State Bank of Graymont, Kelly Electric, Streeter Ownized Credit Union, DPI Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Stoller International, Victory Lanes and Slammer Grill, GHX by Golden Harvest, Cade Hill, local dealer, and the Friends of Indian Football, Milford Hunter at the Potter Agency, and JMSA Trucking. We appreciate it. Once again, Indian football has been brought to you on Eye and Central Illinois, part of the Casamigos High School Sports Network, presented by Brandt Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Again, the final. St. Joe-Ogden comes a-calling and beats up our young Indians, and they win easily, 54-14. We'll see you a week from tonight in Chillicothe, IVC, Pontiac. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. So long.